Hey friends, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to tell you about pressure mounting but with signs of progress. President Joe Biden will hunker down at the White House to try to strike a deal and win over to hold out Democratic senators whose support is needed for his potentially historic $3.5 trillion government overhaul. With Republicans solidly opposed and no Democratic votes to spare, Biden cancelled a Wednesday trip to Chicago that was to focus on COVID-19 vaccinations so he could dig in for another day of intense negotiations with lawmakers ahead of crucial votes. The stakes are as high as ever as Biden and his party try to accomplish a joint legislative lift, promising a vast rewrite of the nation's balance sheet with an oh-so-slim majority in Congress. His idea is to essentially raise taxes on corporations and the wealthy and use that money to expand government healthcare, education, and other programs, an impact that would be felt across countless American lives. As if that wasn't enough, Biden's focus is gaining traction at the same time Congress courts a crisis. Republicans refuse to approve routine legislation to keep the government funded past Thursday's fiscal year end and raise the nation's debt limit to avoid a dangerous default on borrowing. More votes are expected Wednesday and are likely to at least temporarily head off a catastrophe, with Biden and his party reaching for what would be a signature policy accomplishment. There is a strong sense that progress is being made, said an administration official who requested anonymity to discuss the private talks. All eyes are on Senator Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Kirsten Sinema of Arizona, who say the price tag for Biden's plan is too big but are publicly quiet about a number they can live with. The president met separately with the two centrist senators at the White House on Tuesday, and Democrats are poised to trim the huge measures, tax proposals, and spending goals to meet the overall size they are demanding. Really good, honest, straightforward negotiations, Manchin told reporters back at the Capitol after his White House meeting with Biden. He said he did not give the president a new top-line figure. Biden's problems with fellow Democrats aren't just in the state. A small number of centrist House Democrats are bristling at the far-reaching scope of his domestic agenda and demanding changes. But progressive lawmakers warn against cutting too much, saying they have already compromised enough. Applying pressure, progressives are threatening to withhold support for a companion bill, a $1 trillion public works measure heading to a vote Thursday that they say is too much meager without Biden's bigger package assured. We are obviously at a very sensitive time, said White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki. The president, she said, is not going to tell anyone what to do. He is going to have a discussion, have an engagement. Taken together, it's all putting the entire Biden agenda perilously closer to collapse, with consequences certain to shape his presidency and the lawmakers' political futures. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen told Congress in a letter Tuesday that October 18 is a critical date, the day that Treasury Department will likely exhaust all of its extraordinary measures being taken to avoid a default on the government's obligations. Yellen urged Congress to protect the full faith and credit of the United States by acting as soon as possible to either raise the debt limit or suspend it. Faced with Republican opposition to linking the routine government funding with the debt limit vote, Democrats are separating the two, stripping out the more heated debate over the debt limit for another day closer to a separate October deadline. The Senate is poised to vote swiftly to provide government funding to avoid a federal shutdown after the September 30 fiscal year end, keeping operations flowing temporarily to December 3. The House could quickly flow. So if you are liking my video, don't forget to subscribe and comment. Thanks for watching.